of the Saturday race are graphically presented here on this poster. Here we have the start of that race Sunday, and they start in groups of 5. They start, what, with number 1?
Yes, you draw for position at a date 2 or 3 weeks prior to the race, and you start 5 men every 30 seconds.
Well, they don't put all the experts in up in front.
No, it depends on how lucky you are at the drawing.
We went up here a ways at real sharp switchback, and thought maybe we'd get some real action, but everybody took it real easy. All they did was wear out their shoe leather.
It's easier to replace shoe leather than it is the skin.
I guess. Anybody ever wear out a pair of boots on one of these?
Well, I imagine they do. They never wear out any. They wear out tires quite a bit, but I imagine some people do wear out their boots.
This was shot from a bike to give some idea of the course, and leads us into a beautiful shot that illustrates how we have to climb here. You climb from sea level to, what is it, 1,400 feet at the...
Yes, about 14 to 1,500 feet.
Up at the crest.
It's interesting to note the type of road this is. It's a dirt road that's been oiled with this plain old used engine oil, and it breaks up. Due to the weather, it broke up, and the boys take it easy in the corner and then accelerate as hard as they can after they get squared away, or else they'll go down.
This fellow with an X, he's really policing the area as an official, is that right?
Yes, in case somebody's hurt, he can get to the ambulance.
And they keep making laps around to see if anybody went off or anything happened.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It certainly is a fascinating race. I don't see anybody could ever pass one of these up. They really, everybody cooperates in running these, the participants as well as the different manufacturers and agencies, is that right?
Yes, no one is paid.
No pay.
None of the officials or none of the entrants, no one. Everyone works for nothing, and the officials especially, they work very hard and they don't even get a trophy or a chance at one.
What's this flag?
The man's got a red flag, and he's slowing the riders down because they're going on off of this paved surface to the dirt. And it's a very bad corner. If you miss it, it's about 100 feet, 50 to 100 feet drop off into a reservoir.
Oh, yeah.
They slow down to approximately, I'd say, 5 miles an hour.
Well, if there were an accident or anything, I've followed some other racing. Do you indicate to the riders then that there is some danger ahead with these flags too?
Oh, yes. In other words, you can down.
That's with a red flag.
Yes, he frantically waving the flag means there's danger ahead. Quite a bit of attention to that.
You get up a pretty good speed coming off here, really moving.
50 to 60 miles an hour on that rough terrain.
With that bouncing, it looks higher.
If you lose a handlebar, if your hand falls off one of your handlebars, going down this hill, you'll fall just like that boy did right there.
But they all get back up and keep on going. I noticed too, they always make an effort to finish the race.
Well, when you race for nothing, you do all you can, because you wouldn't be out there unless you wanted to race, and that's
but I mean, even when they get behind and that, they stay in and try to finish it.
There's Bruce Jackson, one of the top scramble stars in Southern California.
Use ordinary gasoline?
Yes, just pump just like we use in the car, just what we can buy. This is Ray Tanner on the biggest machine in the race, 74 cubic inch Harley Davidson. And Eddie Kretz Jr. on a Triumph.
He's been a long time. How old are some of these fellows that race?
In this race, the riders range from approximately 16 years to 50. Lammy Lamoureux, a Triumph dealer from Glendale, is probably one of the oldest, about 50 years old.
Still keep racing when they're
Yes, and he does
40 or
very
50.
good. The boys come from all over the United States and Hawaii and Alaska to race in this race for nothing.
It certainly looks to me like it keep your weight down.
I've
keep
gained
your
weight.
figure.
Builds up the shoulders and the chest and keeps your legs in very good shape.
We're back in town here now. This was an interesting corner too, because they come down that street at a pretty good clip, 70, 80 miles an hour, and then into this real tight corner, and it's all dug up here. They had to keep sweeping that loose gravel out. That fellow almost lost that broom about 3 different times. That's a good ride. They always get right back up. About
50% finish every year.
There were probably 100 or over then that finished it.
Yes, on the Sunday's race, I would say there was.
How far down do they give trophies for?
The first 25
First 25.
get a trophy, no matter who you are, what you ride. In the 21-inch, they have 5 trophies for the 21-inch class. Now, if a 21-inch machine finishes in the first 25, he receives that trophy plus the 21-inch trophy.
Oh, yeah. That was a good ride. I noticed some of them hardly ever use
Race much on the pavement. In the pavement racing, you don't put your feet down too
I
much.
see.
Because if you lose it, it's lost. Your foot won't save it. You can't save it when you're running.
But here were you going probably, what, 15 miles an hour on this sharp corner?
Well, 5 to 15.
5 to 15, well, I see they almost every one uses their feet. Even the champ there just went by.
Yes, everybody does. You have to be very careful when you go off from the pavement onto the dirt, because it's the 2 different surfaces. One is so slick, after riding on a nice, safe surface like the pavement, and you get into that slick dirt, you have to be very careful because you'll fall down. That's why you see a lot of boys slide out in this particular corner.
That's right.
It's a Manx Norton, a very famous make, ridden by Don Alford, and he is in his 50s.
It's amazing.
He's ridden all 5 years.
So we made about 3 laps all the way around this now, from the town up around the top of the hill and then down through this meadow. We're coming down again to these bridges. You could almost make a whole movie right on these bridges because they had lots of action there. It's more than just a sport, isn't that right? It's almost a way of life to him. It's an escape from getting beat down at his job all day long. He can take off on Sunday and go places that we can't go in an automobile.
Yes, where your automobile or any automotive transportation gives up or the motorcycle takes over, we feel that we have the greatest sport in the world. The reason you see so many spills at this bridge is the fact that it's wood and there's dirt. The boys have pulled dirt on it coming around the corner, and it's very slick.
The dirt is on top of the wood, in other words.
Yes, it's like in your automobile on the pavement with a little oil on it. It's very, very slick.
Well, they go pretty good coming off this too, don't they?
Yes,
Speed.
I'd say around 60 miles an hour across that part of the golf course.
It's caught on fire, and this fire truck had to go up and try to put it out. These happen so fast, it's almost impossible to catch everything that went on. You say they race almost every week. Here's a good shot, these 51 and 25. Watch 25.
Vern Hancock is one of the top riders in the United States here. You'd have seen a nice collision there.
Yeah, he went right on by him.
Very good. We have this scrambles type racing and this type of racing at least 40 Sundays out of the year where we race for free, for trophies.
How many times?
5 years.
Well, that's every race, in other words.
Yes, I've raced 3 years in the small bikes on the Saturdays race, and 5 in the open on the Sundays race.
There goes Vern Hancock again, 51. And right after this cloud shot, we have a good shot where the bike throws the rider clear over these hay bales.
With Chuck Minert, number 179. Very, very top rider in this part of the country.
There he goes. Right back.
Those boys helping him in a motorcycle club. They're probably...
And the winner, number 98, Bud Eakins on a Triumph.
I understand as soon as this was over, he went to left for Europe. I imagine he'll do all right over there, too.
He was very good. Last year he raced in Europe, and he is on his way again this year to race. And he did very well last year, and he's a better rider this year. So.
These checkered flags, they mean that they've finished the race, and the yellow flag means they have one more lap. The finishers in the race, second was number 60, Dubois on an aerial. Third, number 51, Vern Hancock on a matchless. Fourth, number 26, Good on a Harley Davidson.
This is Pat Zaremba riding a BSA. He's one of the youngest men in the racing game, top rider, 17 years old.
There we have it, Catalina Grand Prix.
Hi there, sports fans. This is Gil Collin as we see him strut, along with 1957 Catalina winner Bob Sandrin, bringing you highlights of another Catalina Grand Prix. Our story begins as the riders draw numbers to determine positions at the start. Bob, when does this actually take place?
About a month before the race, Gil. There'll be some 200 bikes in the big Sunday race with 5 riders taking the second. The lower your number, you'll be to the starting line.
The actual day of the race, motorcycle fans from all over the country head for Santa Catalina Island by every means of transportation. Many take an amphibious plane which picks them up in Long Beach, California, and in just 17 minutes of flying time lands them in Avalon Harbor. Others, of course, prefer a more leisurely and relaxed trip aboard the famous Santa Catalina steamer. Bob, do the rules allow any size machines to race at Catalina?
Yes, any size can enter, but each is judged according to its class. As you know, Gil, there are 2 days of racing, Saturday and Sunday. The Saturday race is for the smallest bikes up to the 250cc class. And Sunday, the bigger machines from the 350cc on up will compete.
Well, how do the riders qualify for Catalina?
Well, due to the nature of the race, only a limited number is possible. So a group and sports committee picks those riders who, by virtue of their past performances and points earned, are the most eligible.
When we arrive at Catalina, we find the island electric with excitement and anticipation, with the fans anxious for a weekend of thrilling motorcycle competition. Bikes of every make and description have been sent by manufacturers from all over the world to make this 7th running of the Catalina Grand Prix almost the United Nations of motorcycles. We make our way to the assembly area where the bikes are being given last-minute checkouts.
Gil, here's a familiar face everyone knows, Keenan Wynn, star of motion pictures and television, and one of the most avid motorcycle competitors. Keenan's been riding bikes for about 20 years and will be number 39 today, riding a Triumph Club in the lightweight division.
We catch Don Hawley nabbing a few winks, but it doesn't last long because the bikes are ready for the starting line. BSAs, Makos, Velocets, Triumphs, NSUs, all about to take off on the 60-mile trek, 10 laps over a 6-mile course. Starter Frank Kennedy gives the 2-minute warning signal, and eager hands grasp the throttle. One minute to the start, and the tension really mounts. And the race is on as the 250cc lightweights start their way around the course. Now watch one of the most spectacular pilots ever seen in a motorcycle race as wave number 2 takes off. Like at least a dozen riders were involved in that skirmish. What happened, Bob?
One of the riders, number 48, lost control. His bike took off to the right. As he went down, the others were so close together they couldn't avoid him and stacked up.
Was anyone hurt?
No, just a few bruised egos and some time lost in the race.
The third wave, the 165cc machines, gets the starter's flag. 2 minutes later, the fourth and last group is away and running. Now there are over 160 bikes on the course. So let's move in and get a first-hand look at the action. Near the start of the race, number 28, Don Hawley, riding a Triumph Cub, and Walter Axthelm, number 8, on a 15-inch BSA, battle for the lead. Dick Pappenguth on his Mako is chased by top scrambles rider Bruce Jackson on a Velocet. Here comes Bob Castle on a 200cc DKW. Ralph Adams on a Triumph Cub takes the bridge. I notice that these riders get quite a workout, both on dirt and pavement. Is there any difference in riding techniques between the two, Bob?
Well, you actually have more control on dirt. In dirt riding, you're usually not going so fast, and if your bike starts to slide out, you can use your foot as a stabilizer. Chances for recovery are better.
Every rider knows that races are won and lost in the pit area. Bikes gas and get minor repairs if they run into difficulty. Now the riders work their way back into town over tricky pavement turns. But not all of the boys get there without a spill. See what I mean? Don Hawley's Triumph Cub trims the corner and Axthelm is close behind. Here comes Bruce Jackson, number 11, chasing the pack on his 250cc Velocet.